Hello everybody. In this video we're going to be using my very latest Butterfly Elegance collection stamps and we're going to be using Pixie Powders, which is one of Cosmic Shimmer's newest products. Not something you would expect me to use, so I'm hoping you enjoy this video because it's something a little bit different to what I normally do. Use them in a slightly different way and try and keep it neat, as you know that's what I'm like. So let's get on with it. Okay, so for the Butterfly Elegance card, we're going to be using the Pixie Powders, but first I just want to show you these lovely new Butterfly Elegance stamps. So these are one of my latest collections, so butterflies are the theme. As always by now, you know that I do a full collection of stamps, so you get the birthday verses, which is what you're looking at just there. Then you also get the fabulous, the sentiments, the original sentiments. But if you look at the bottom of this pack, you'll notice that you've got two little flourishes in there as well. That's just a little extra embellishment so that you can decorate your toppers and things like that. Then you've got, these are what I'm going to be using. These are the curved sentiments that are brand new to my range. Fabulous way to decorate the centre of your card as well with the banners that you're so used to seeing me do. Then we have the corner sentiments that are so popular. But obviously these now feature the same butterfly that is in the rest of the collection. Complete coordination from one set of stamps again. Then you've got these fabulous new butterfly icons. So you've got the solid one in there and you've also got the flourish one, the open one that's got the flourishes inside it. Amazing when you use them with the detail embossing powders. And then I'll just try and show you two of these at a time. So then you've got the frames. So you've got the large circle and the large oval frame there. Notice you've got that beautiful stitch detail all the way around there, again featuring the butterflies that are within the sentiments for the completely coordinated look. And then last but not least you have the rectangle and the square. Now I've designed all the frames will fit in Sue Wilson's double pierced range of dies, so you don't have to worry about cutting those out. Kind of took all the hard work out of it for you. So if you've never seen Pixie Powders, or if you've heard about them and thought, oh, it's not really for me, it's not my kind of thing, you're probably thinking the same that I did, because it's kind of a bit messier than what I'm used to doing. You've got all this beautiful burst of colour on there, which is basically what they are. They are mica and dye ink pigments, but that when water is added to them, they burst with colour. It's the easiest thing in the world. If, like me, you're a bit of a control freak and you like things to be a bit more structured, this is what I've done. I've got the same colour in two corners and then the same two colours in the other corners. It makes it easier to work with. It makes it a little bit more balanced. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So for me, again, being tidy is key. So all you need, let me just get those bits out of the way because that's what we're going to use. Some kitchen roll, just to catch the excess water. And I'll just put another one at the bottom. It's an amazing product, this, and so versatile. Like I say, it's not something that I would normally go for, but now I've used it in my way, if you like. Makes it so much easier to work with. So I'm going to do I've already got mine pre-prepared because obviously it needs drying time and I haven't got that luxury here, but I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So we've got our square there, we've got the base from the Auckland die, and I've also got the top from the Auckland die. So for me, the colour that you get from the Pixie Powders is quite intense, and I love that about it. I also love that you've got the mica that comes in there that gives you that beautiful pearlescent sheen. Amazing product, like I say, but for me, I like structure. It's no good me just having blobs all across the middle of a page. I want it to kind of look more balanced. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. I've chosen three colours. We've got the candy pink. We've also got the Aqua Lagoon, and then we've got the one that's got a little bit more metallic mica in it. You've got the rich gold. So those are the three colours that I've chosen. The beautiful thing about the Pixie Powders is you can choose any couple of colours, you can choose lots of different colours, you can choose just one. It really depends on what mood you're in. Now I picked the Pixie Powders to work with my Butterfly Elegance stamps because it kind of goes with that whole style. So the butterflies obviously quite floral, quite spring-like if you like, and the colours I've chosen will work in a really nice way like that. So we're going to start with the candy pink. So instead of just tapping this and letting it fall anywhere, I'm going to try and control it a little bit as far as you can. So it is a powder. Let me just see if I can get some. Yeah, so it is a powder, but you can see there it's got mica in there, but it's also got ink powder in there as well. So when it's wet, it will burst into colour. So gentle tapping is what I would advise. Now you can tap from the bottom, but if you tap from the bottom, it will make it come out a little bit further. So I'm just going to tap this kind of like you would do a salt shaker, I suppose. And I'm just going to do the top left corner. Not too much, because remember it's quite intense colour once it starts, and then I'm going to do the bottom right corner. You'll notice that I'm doing all three parts that I want with colour on at the same time. That's really so that once the job's done I can leave all three bits to dry. And I'll do that like that. Now I've chosen both parts of the Auckland dye just so you can see the difference. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the top, the lacy part, and the same down there. There we go. So as far as control goes, that's probably as controlled as it gets. Let's just do the aqua. So you can see here that the aqua's actually come out in bigger blobs than the candy pink did, which is absolutely fine. Notice I'm only going around the edges as well because this would have another layer on top. And we'll do the same in this corner. Now if it stops coming out, just give it a little tap. And there we go. And carry on around there. If you've never tried pixie powders, they really are amazing. Just have a go with them and let your creativity flow. So that's probably enough of the Aqua Lagoon. And then the gold one, I'm just going to give that a little tap again. So the gold one, I'm going to go all the way around, but not a lot. All the way around. You can put as much or as little of the gold on as you like as well, because it's just kind of an accent colour. Keep going. If it stops coming out, it just means that the powder's clogged up in the nozzle a little bit. Just give it the little tap, and then it will start flowing much easier. And we'll do the same on here, all the way around. And this is as messy as I get as a crafter. Yeah. That's it. Now how easy was that? So all we need to do now to activate this is mist. Now different people will show you different ways of doing this. There is no right or wrong way. We do creative expressions, we will say wet the card first and then pop your powders on when it starts to burst immediately. Again, for me, I'm doing it the other way around and I'm putting the powder on first and then adding the water. So from a safe distance, I'm just going to direct the water on this. And I'm not aiming or anything, I'm just letting the water land. It's a fine mister that I'm using as well, not one that's got a lot of water coming out of it, so I've got a little bit more control. So you can see already it's starting to burst into colour. So if you wanted, you could actually stop there because the water is still making the mica and the ink pigments burst, but you can add more. You can be as heavy as you like with this, and obviously the more water you put on, the more colour you're going to get. I'll just do the other bits at the same time. It's quite fun actually. It's something, because it's not something I would normally do, and just keep giving it a mist. You'll notice that my card's curled up. Now I haven't used a watercolour card. Obviously you can use watercolour card, and you'll get the lovely texture you get from the watercolour card as well. But I've just used ordinary card, and I'm just going to leave that to dry. So if I was at home in my craft room, I would just leave that now to dry. Maybe lift it up from the kitchen roll, put it on the floor and leave it to dry. You can heat this up with your heat tool and make it a little bit quicker. Trust me when I say that this will look beautiful when we're finished. But obviously you don't see the full effects from this until it's actually dried. I'm just going to add a bit more water to this corner. There we go. So what you'll see is it's starting to just roll down. Fabulous effect. It makes it look marbly. But obviously you can add as much or as little water as you like. So I'm just gonna stop for a second and I'm going to move this because obviously I need this to dry, and I'll bring in the bits that I've already done. As I mentioned before, if you are going to use a heat tool to dry this, just be gentle with it. Don't overheat it because it'll make your card kink. So I'll just clear this stuff away and I'll show you the rest of the card. So here is what I've done already earlier. Now I know it's kind of cheating a little bit to do this, but I had to do this, otherwise it would have taken too long to dry. I've done exactly the same thing as you've just seen me do. So you've got the blue opposite corners, you've got the pink in opposite corners, and if you get close enough, you'll just see, if I wiggle it, you'll see the bits of gold shining through. So that's what kind of gives it the extra oomph, if you like. You've got that beautiful pearlescent sheen that you get from the colours, but then you've got that lovely metallic lustre coming through from the gold as well. So that's how the base looks once you've matted and layered it. I've used which one is this? This is our Swirling Hearts embossing folder, just to give it a different dimension. And this is how the Auckland die looks. So when you've just seen me mist that with the water, I did the top and I did the base, and I just wanted you to see how different it looks. So this is actually with the base one misted, but the top lacy part left white. So you've still got that gorgeous, gorgeous colour showing through from underneath, and you still get the pearlescent effect. And then again, I've done it on the small part that comes with the die set. You get that lovely colour. But on my original card, and I'll just bring that across to show you, I did it in reverse. So we've got 2 misted layers, and I've actually misted on the lacy part of the die. So really it depends how much colour you want. You can have full-on colour, which is what you've got here, or you can have it toned down a little bit by just mixing and matching your dies and how you use them. So I'll pop that to one side and we'll start assembling this card. So we'll take the backing off the Auckland die. And again, work our way around. Dimension, foam tape, you know I love my foam tape, you know I love the battle I have every time picking the backs off. I won't put the glue on this time because I don't really need it. Right, you see already I've just done that, but because I know that this corner should be blue, I can either go off-piste, which is not my norm, and I can have blue corner, pink corner, or I can turn it around. Oh, I am having blue corner, pink corner. That obviously must have been what I was thinking when I did it. So let's pop that on. Balancing the colour. There you go. There's always a method in my madness. And we'll pop the middle part on as well. And then that's done. And then I want to show you how fabulous these Butterfly Elegance stamps work. So let's just turn that around because I want more gold showing at the bottom. Pop that in the centre. And we'll just pop that to one side. So already, before I've even put a stamp on there, it's kind of looking fabulous already just from the pixie powders and some water. That's all I've actually done. The glitter I've used around the edge, in case you're wondering, is our Cosmic Shimmer glitter jewels. It's the iced crystal, that one, a little bit chunkier. Pop that to one side. So we're now going to stamp our sentiment. We're using the curved sentiments from the Butterfly Elegance range. It's the first time I've done the curved sentiments as well when I release these. They've been hugely popular, so watch out for more. As always, anti-static bag. This is just a plain piece of white card that's left over from my matting and layering. All the strips I end up with when I do my chopping my card down, I keep for this purpose. Perfect medium pad, and we'll just work our way through. So this time I'm using the Detail bright gold embossing powder, because the gold will obviously pick up the gold in the gold from the pixie powders. So I'll just pop that on there, and you know that I've got my stamping mat underneath here, so I don't need to worry too much about how hard I press with the stamp. Pop that on there, and in case you didn't know, that's for my sake when they're all on my shelves in my craft room. When you start collecting embossing powders like I have, you need to label them in quicker ways. So that's there. I will heat this one from below again, just so you can see this changing, because I love you to see that work. Gorgeous detailed stamps these as well, because you've got a really swirly, elegant font in there. Just angle it so I can see it changing. Have we changed yet? No. Are we going? There we go. So I'll just work my way down. You can see even the tiny scrolls that you've got within the font, they still pick up really beautifully with the detail embossing powder. Work my way along. So it's worth just taking that extra few seconds to heat from below. I'm just going to turn that around, bear with me, don't want to burn my fingers. So you get that lovely smooth finish. It's almost like it's been metal enamelled. I'll show you a close-up of that. There you go, I'll just let you have a quick look at that detail you get from that. Love the flow of the curved sentiment with the butterflies just works really, really well. Yeah, and I'm going to do my usual trick, which is snip the end. Now I'm not measuring, but I will give you a little tip. So I know that I've come in this far from this side, so when I turn it over I need to come in from the same distance, and as long as I'm meet in the middle, I'm just do that. As long as I meet in the middle, it will be relatively straight. Oops, but don't worry too much. Again, as always, if I'm curling a banner, normally I would do it on the edge of my counter, but I can't on here because it's got a glass top. So we will just do that with the bone folder. So face down for the end and then face up for the other side. So now I've got that, which obviously looks very, very curly. But when you bring that back to your card, you can now choose how far across you want this, yeah? So I know that that's probably about perfect for me. So I can snip a bit of the end off that. It's much easier to do it on a longer piece of card and then snip the excess off than to do it too short and it not be big enough. Bend that little bit up so I've got a flat part, and now that's perfect. So before I do that, because I've used the pink and blue on the pixie powders, I want to then match my sentiment. So a white edge on this just looks a little bit wrong. Let's just let you see that. The white edges don't look right. With this amount of colour with it going off in the background, we need a little bit of colour on the sentiment as well. So hopefully you've got some ink pads or some colour cloud knocking about that you can match. So I've got Picked Raspberry Distress ink and I've got Salty Ocean Distress ink because they work really well with these two colours. I'm just going to do a little bit of mixing and matching here. So I'm just doing a little bit of pink there. A little bit of the Picked Raspberry there, a little bit at the end, and then I'll turn it over and do the gaps. So on the opposite side I'll do the gaps. That again is just about trying to balance it really. So instead of using another piece of cut and dry, I'll just use the other side and then I'll do the blue in between. It's just a lovely way to give you a coordinated look. A little bit more ink. And there we go. Pop your lids on so they don't dry out. I will save this piece of cut and dry foam now because I will do this technique again, and then we can pop that straight onto our card. So if you've not seen me do this before, the only parts when you're doing a banner that you need to put glue on are the 2 points that are going to touch the card, which is this piece and that piece. And you know you will only see me using Cosmic Shimmer glue, not because I have to, but because it's the best. And we'll pop that on there. So I'm just lining that up on the edge there, and I'm just going to bend that up to the right height and just hold that in place for a second, and then that will quickly grab. There we go. And then we'll finish off, before I finish the glittering, we'll finish off with a little, this is one of Sue Wilson's dies. It's the peony flower, the open petals. And I've picked the open flower as opposed to the solid one because I actually want you to see all the colour from underneath. If I put a big solid flower on there, it would completely tone it down, but I wanted to keep the colour shining through. So a little bit of glue on the bottom. And the tweezers. Oops, excuse me, 1 minute. You forgot to do what you tell everybody to do, Phill, and put your leaves on first. There you go. This is a delicate fronds, by the way, and I've kept these white. So I'll put them on first. I've kept them on white and just leaving them white so I can glitter them at the end and break up the amount of colour I've got on this card. And then pop my peony on. Just line that up so that it's not blocking the sentiment. Hold that in place. I'm nearly done. 2 little peonies at the end. Now again, I know what you're thinking, that will never go in an envelope. Well, no, it wouldn't. If you were taking all this time to make a card for somebody, well, me in particular, if I was doing this, I would be making a box. And it's actually quicker to make a box than it is to make an envelope. So just pop them on there. And then we'll just finish with a little bit of the ice crystals. So, because I've actually put the banner on, which is exactly what I do at home, so I'm not putting glitter on. If I'd have gone and glittered this, I'd have had to leave it to dry. All I'm going to do is the bits that you can see. So just really just squeezing the glue as I'm going across the shape of the banner, all the way around there. Remember, it dries clear. I can't tell you enough times that it dries clear, Cosmic Shimmer glue. I know when I do my workshops, people say, oh, there's glue everywhere, but remember, it dries clear and all you'll be left with is sparkle. So the colour that I've just covered up with the Distress ink, you're still going to see that, because if I've not said it 100 times, it dries clear. And ice crystals are a little bit different. You've probably seen me use glacier ice or ice snow a lot, but ice crystals is a little bit chunkier. It's still very soft, but you've got a different texture from this, so it works really well with the iridescence that you because it's going to pick all the colours out from the pixie powders. So just pop that straight on. Nearly done. Just finish off the end and then just pop that somewhere to dry, which is exactly what I would do if I was working at home. And there we have it, pixie powders with my Butterfly Elegance range. Works really well together. The flow from the butterfly stamps is beautiful. The pixie powders in the background are gorgeous. It's a great combination.